Beautiful.
Thank you. So welcome to my art space.
Thank you for allowing me.
This is a new collection. So part of the collection, part of the job is that I create the work and the audiences finish it, similar to Jeff Koons.
Oh, okay.
A beautiful billionaire artist. So again, take a look around, see what connects to you, and then we can talk about it.
Definitely. Well, I know this is very different than most of your work. I've been to a couple of your exhibitions, and yeah, you really took a different turn here. So I'm so interested to know, where you got this, just different perspective of these paintings. These are the ones that actually I'm gravitating a little bit more towards.
Good.
I love the other ones in the back, but talk to me a little bit about this one.
This one, okay. So the collection itself, all of this inspired from my beautiful trip to Puebla, Cuernavaca, Morelos, Mexico City. So growing up, and I've mentioned it before in previous videos, conferences, I grew up in rural poverty land, right? So we didn't have the luxury to go outside of our streets. We didn't have travel time, right? Now that I'm able to travel, I get to really immerse myself in all the color of where I come from, my sweet Mexico.
Wow.
So as I'm going through the trips, I'm going through the roads and seeing mountains and colors or richness, I wanted to bring back home to the valley, especially to the individuals that don't have that cultural connection, right? The culture, creativity, because they can't travel. I wanted to bring that color back. So as you're looking at these characters, specifically, this one, let's talk about this one, the one you selected. This is a random individual that just popped into my head. They're not supposed to relate or connect to anyone unless you make them connectable, right? But these individuals are in back of a door. These doors are referencing a beautiful Italian village going to Puebla, Valquirico. And as I saw this Italian community, I saw all these kids and all these people being, photographed back of a door, but they were forced. It's like, stand right there. I'm like, I don't want to take a picture. No, but I said, so parents forcing, teenagers to take pictures and everybody taking pictures.
Is that why they're not smiling?
They're not smiling because they're always like, stand right there, right? So what I wanted to bring back home and I wanted to show the audience is that forced picture that a lot of us have to have, and you have different emotions. And we have different filters and there's so many identities. That's what I wanted to bring back home. The different identities that we have to play a role. Even if we don't feel happy, we have to be happy. Like we're in a show right now. How many people are feeling, different emotions, but they have to set firm in one because you're at a show, right? So that's what this individual is showing. And then the color, the richness of that green that you see in the landscape. So that's in every single character.
If I may add, I know they look like they're different ethnicities, even though they're from one ethnicity, right? Yeah. And I think that's my own perspective of it, like the gentleman here and the girl down here. Correct. And so what is your take on this? Because I know, you mentioned it's, Mexico bringing back the culture to the valley, but these individuals look like they're not from the valley and they're not from Mexico.
Correct. And that's one of the things that you notice in Mexico, in the valley, in Tamaulipas, Reynosa. There's so many people that look Asian, but they're not Asian. I have my good friend, Irvin Cano.
Yes.
He looks very Asian. It's a Oaxaca, right?
I've seen
a lot of
yes.
people that have indigenous features that are very
resonates.
strong, but they don't even speak Spanish. 100% American. I'm like, wait, so what is, we're so diverse. Our identities are completely merged that we might think one thing, but the person is from the other spectrum. So that's what you find all over in the valley as well.
Exactly. So you'd say that we are basically culturally connected.
We are.
Especially through art and music and color, right?
Yes.
And talk to me a little bit about this one. I know this one, it's basically just, something that is, it's an image of, I'm assuming it's a woman or a man, but why not the face? Why the neck?
These three, which is a triptych, right? These three are connected because, as you may know or may not know, I work for my perfume companies. I'm constantly engraving for luxury.
Yes.
So what is the number one luxury? The aim is for women, right? That's what we target. That's our demographics.
Right.
And that flirty women. You're putting a Bugatti, a Christian Dior, a Creed. The first thing is spray the neck. Like that is what I'm.
I
That is
sense that,
exactly
yes.
what I want to show the audience.
I sense
that
that.
flirty, like I smell good. I showered. Smell me.
I feel like I can smell this one. You know,
Yes.
it's like a deep, rich color of.
Which is your couture. Couture is
Exactly.
elegance. It's not for everybody. So that's the aim. And I know, like you mentioned in the beginning, this work is completely different.
Yes.
Why getting out of my comfort zone? Today I bring massive engraving, platform. Tomorrow palm trees. Tomorrow, my 2D acrylic. It's just, that's part of the art journey. You need to be rejuvenating yourself and growing and moving forward, not always satisfying, that one platform. Is it risky? Of course it is. Life is risky, right? As part of an artist, as part of the journey. Just keep on going forward, and somebody's going to connect with you and your work. And when you find them, appreciate them.
Exactly. And that's why I'm here, because I appreciate the art. I appreciate, the story behind it, but also, those perspectives that I may have and you may have and somebody else may have.
Correct.
I love listening to everyone's perspective of it. But as we're speaking, I'm looking straight at those paintings now, and these are just, phenomenal. They're beautiful. And so, was this from a trip that you just recently took as well?
Yes, that's correct. It's going to Puebla. I see El Popocatépetl, a massive mountain, like a volcano. It's literally an active volcano. And I'm just in awe with the beauty of the work of God. That's it. I can't filter it. I can't say anything else but just God's glory on that mountain. And as I'm intaking, they're driving, and I just see this massive structure. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. My ears are popping left and right. I'm feeling dizzy. The elevation is really hitting me. And then I turn left and right, and I see people skydiving. I'm like, are they nuts right now? It's like, this is awful, and I'm on the road. But the adventure of nature, seeing that and connecting that, no matter what, as human beings, we have the capability to create anything, the most wonderful thing in the world. But you cannot ever compare it to God's creation. You could never.
Definitely.
A beautiful masterpiece, as beautiful as Vincent van Gogh, a Raphael, if I put it next to that mountain, that landscape, it's nothing. So I wanted to bring that back home, because we're not really, I guess, exposed to mountains.
Well, I can tell you that this brought me back from a painting that my grandma used to have at her home. And, we used to live in Durango. And so she had a big painting in her home, and it resonated with this. And so that brought me a lot of peace, and it really brought me a lot of warmth to think of my family. But this here is like, it's on a whole different serenity level. When you mentioned, there were skydivers and, the elevation, I'm actually not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking about how peaceful it looks, how I would love to just sit there just do nothing and just take it all in.
Yeah, and you know what? You do. And I did. As soon as I allowed my body, I was like, calm down, Valley girl, calm down. I was able to get in there and just say, like, this is just so wonderful. Like, wow, the sunset. It was just a very beautiful, intimate connection with nature. So yes, I'm glad that, you see, like, Jeff Koons is correct. He's right when he says, we create and you guys interpret and finish it off.
Definitely.
So it's a collaboration.
I love it. I'm seeing everything, and I'm so drawn to this work. But I also noticed that you have 2 different displays here.
Yes.
So I'm sure it's just not for show, right?
Correct.
So.
That is leading to an exhibition that's titled Mujer de Flores y Colores.
Wow.
And
¿Y dónde están las flores?
right, those are in the making, right?
Oh, wow.
But at the end of the day,
Love
we
that.
live in a world where identities are being jeopardized.
Wow.
And it's hard. It's hard to digest that, right?
Right.
So I wanted to have 2 characters that resemble that. Your identity and filling it in with who you are and who you're becoming. So that's just basically it. That identity mark.
So that's the future of Tania Viveros,
Oh yes,
right?
yes.
I'm so glad.
Installation with flowers and colors and more flowers.
I'm
and
so
more
excited.
color.
I really
Thank
am. I
you.
love flowers and I love color.
I appreciate you honestly taking the
Thank
time
you.
to come down to support artists, because at the end of the day, we feed off of you. That's who we are. We feed off of what your statements, your stories, your backstories. And that inspires us more than anything else. Because we're just sucking life out of everybody, right? As artists, and it's very important that the people in the Rio Grande Valley get acquainted with art. They support the arts. They come out in every event. Not only support us with great words, but buy the artwork so they can continue buying the supplies to continue to inspire you.
I agree.
Because it's important for the next generation.
You're very welcome, and thank you so much for allowing me in your space. And I'm so excited to look at your new exhibition, but also your work. When people walk in here, I really want them to see that perspective of your work, and I do appreciate everything that you do also for the community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tania.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much.